Hare Krishna, everyone, and welcome to another session of Prabhupada Memoirs. And we are so fortunate that today we'll be speaking to His Holiness Lokanath Swami, who is a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada. This is your opportunity to hear directly from the disciples of Srila Prabhupada and to get that inspiration and that connection, even to get directly closer to our divine grace. So really want to welcome Maharaj today. Thank you so much, His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj, for joining us. And how are you today, Maharaj?
I'm happy.
It's so nice to have you.
Talk to you.
And those that may not know Maharaj, I think majority everyone knows Maharaj, but just a little background about Maharaj. He became an initiated disciple of Srila Prabhupada in 1972. And then he received sannyasa initiation from His Divine Grace in 1975. And at the age of 26 years old. And also Srila Prabhupada ordered him to preach Lord Chaitanya's message by organizing Padayatra, the walking festival worldwide. And the first leg of the journey was from Vrindavan to Mayapur. And in the course of his Padayatra service, His Holiness has traveled by foot to many of the major tirthas and sacred sites of India. And also in 1989, he inaugurated the service in America. And then for the centennial service, which is the 100 years of Srila Prabhupada, marking that celebration, him as the minister, he also created a celebration for this amazing event, and it was an unprecedented success. And if I'm correct, Maharaj, you organized 100 Padayatras around the world in 1996, if that's correct.
Not correct. More than 100. 111.
Wow, 111, everybody. And on top of that, I think on that centennial festival, there was like a record-breaking number of books that were distributed, plates of prasadam served, and like you said, festivals coordinated worldwide. And also you're the zonal secretary for Maharashtra and Noida and the bureau member for all of India. And in addition to his preaching in Maharashtra, His Holiness has traveled the globe and is well known for his inspiring lectures, kirtans, and he's also an amazing author, and we'll be talking about some of his books a bit later. And he's also an initiating guru in our ISKCON today and has disciples all over the world. So it's an absolute pleasure to be speaking to you today, Maharaj. And thank you for agreeing to come on. And I just wanted to start with, Maharaj, is that in 1971, you I believe, was your first interactions with the Hare Krishna movement. And in 1972, you got initiated, first initiation. When you first met Srila Prabhupada, what was your feelings or recollections at that time?
Okay. Well, in 71, I attended Hare Krishna festival in Bombay. I did not meet him then. I met him in 72, but of course, Srila Prabhupada was there. And there was a big advertisement all over Bombay saying the American sadhus are here, European sadhus are in town. So this was mind-boggling or catching our imagination. So we all ran thousands of people. So I was in the audience. So the devotees on the stage, their performance of their kirtan was out of this world. I had never experienced anything like this. With all their heart, with all their strength, they're doing kirtan, and that was it. I was wondering, how could Americans be, Europeans be sadhus? But when I saw the kirtan performance, they are sadhus. They must be sadhus. Otherwise, this kind of ecstasy and then I heard Prabhupada talking every day. So what impressed me the most, or one takeaway, I would say, from that festival or Prabhupada's talk was, I had from my very childhood, I had inclination and thoughts of serving people, serving society, serving humanity. I had this, but I did not know what to do, where to start, what are the resources. So Prabhupada quoted Bhagavatam one day, and he gave that example how by watering the water on the root of the tree, or you're putting fertilizer on the root of the tree, that's it. Then the trunk, the branches, the leaves, the flowers, the fruit, everything is nourished. So Krishna is the source of all of us, and so if we serve Krishna, everyone is served. So that was it. I was looking for it, and I got it. So I would say that was my meeting, or Prabhupada really met me, or Prabhupada caused a stir in my heart, and I was sold out, and I became his, and so like that. And I bought some of small books of Srila Prabhupada. I did not have much money, so I bought small books, and then soon I started, singing and chanting myself. I was studying in the college. I was sharing a room with my roommates. So whenever they were all out, I would close the door, windows, curtains, latch the door. By myself, I would jump, remembering those devotees dancing on the stage. So so Kirtan was, I think, influenced me the most. And then later on, there was another festival in 1972 at Hare Krishna land, Juhu. I ran back, and I got my life back again. And then at the end of that festival, I decided to join. I wrote a letter addressed to the temple president saying, I liked your dazzling artis and ecstatic kirtans and sumptuous prasadam. I did not know the meaning of what is sumptuous. That word was not in my dictionary before. And dazzling artis. But I had a flyer from their festivals. I copied some of those things I liked your sumptuous prasad. And I agreed to follow regulatory principles. Please accept me. So I went to the Juhu temple and found out the president, and he read my letter on the spot. And he was so delighted. Those days, Indians or Indian youths coming forward to become full-time devotee, this was a rare occurrence. So immediately, that was Giriraj Prabhu then, he was a brahmachari. He announced to the brahmachari, "Hey, we have new bhakta here, we have new bhakta here." And soon after a while, they brought me behind the ashram, and I did not know where they were bringing me to. And barber was waiting for me.
Oh,
and I was shaved up. I was shaved up. And same evening, there was a program in a school. I was Gargamuni Swami Maharaj was heading up, so I accompanied him. And the boys in the school did not know English, so I was handed the microphone, and I became the translator of Gargamuni Maharaj's talk of preaching. And so I became preacher the very first day.
Oh, wow.
Haribol. And later on, at the time of Karthik, Giriraj Prabhu wrote a letter of recommendation, and I traveled along with many other devotees from Bombay, and in Vrindavan, Karthik, at Radha Damodar temple, I was initiated, and then my encounters and talks and meetings started from that time onwards.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that information. And it's amazing to see how so quickly you transitioned. You became a speaker on your first day. That's just phenomenal. Maharaj,
Translated.
Maharaj, one thing is Srila Prabhupada talks about, and I want to show everybody your lovely poster behind. So I've just zoomed out, and the Padayatra worldwide. And one thing that Srila Prabhupada from the early 70s was talking about is to start Padayatra. And then, of course, you took on this mission, and there's so many little pastimes about the Mercedes-Benz turning into a bullet cart and using those as going forward. But can I first start with what was Srila Prabhupada? Why was Srila Prabhupada so close to this idea of Padayatra? What was his feelings towards that? Because I know you had a lot of correspondence with him. So could you share?
Prabhu Srila Prabhupada was Senapati Bhakta, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Senapati Bhakta, Commander-in-Chief of Sankirtan Army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, he's representing Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, what is he going to do? He has to, the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to be made true. My holy name will reach every town, every village of the world. So this is on the mind of Srila Prabhupada. So, okay, we have, well, by then maybe we have 100 temples or 50 to 100 temples. So devotees are going out in those temples, from those temples and doing Nagar Sankirtan, spreading the holy name around. But that was not enough. Prabhupada wanted to go faster and bring the holy name to even those towns and villages where there is no presence of ISKCON as of yet. So he was thinking how to spread the holy name, how to make Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction come true. So there was one gentleman called Punjabi, Paramananda Punjabi, and he had written to Srila Prabhupada proposing, why don't you, start Padayatra and go to Indian villages. And I think Prabhupada, that clicked, and Prabhupada was willing to do so, but he said, my followers are Westerners, they do not speak the local language, so if you come up with some local Indians, then I could provide some Westerners. And so I think this was, and then on Radhastami of 76, as we had returned to, well, not returned, we're visiting New Delhi because we knew Srila Prabhupada was going to be there. So on that occasion of Radhastami, Srila Prabhupada, out of blue, they say, he just, so we were traveling then with a big German Mercedes and bus called Man and Mercedes. And we're enjoying traveling North India, all over Hansadutta. Swami that time and myself, we were co-leaders. So as we had come back, Prabhupada one day, or that Radhastami, they said, I was with Prabhupada, myself and Atma Tattva, and I said, bullock cart. So, and that was it. We did not protest, no argument, although we had a good time traveling with the Western German buses, but Prabhupada said bullock cart. So I was surprised and delighted, and I was also amazed how did Prabhupada found out, that my cultural background, where I come from, Maharashtra, and we are worshippers of Lord Pandurang Vitthal Sri Krishna in Pandharpur. Yes. And all the pilgrims coming to Pandharpur, they come walking, they do Padayatra. My father had been walking 100 kilometers coming to Pandharpur Dham for darshan and walking 100 kilometers back. So when Prabhupada picked up the right person at the right time, and that was it. So from there we went to Vrindavan and prepared, and Prabhupada did the inauguration of our Sankirtan party. And Vrindavan to Mayapur. We gave Mayapur as our destination, and like that, we were on the roads with a mission, with Prabhupada's instructions and
Wow.
empowerment. So that
Maharaj,
was how it started.
on that as well, because there's some lovely pictures which I want to share with some individual, so everyone can see. You can see here, and I'll just expand it so everyone can see nicely. Please tell me if you cannot. So you've got these pictures where you've got this here. Welcome to the Padayatra.
This is just outside Dwarka in '84, in fact.
Wow.
And we started another Padayatra, major Padayatra, from Dwarka to Kanyakumari to Mayapur.
Yeah.
8,000 kilometers to be completed in 18 months. And we arrived in Mayapur to celebrate 500th anniversary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu's appearance in 1986. So this is the group. We started with this group, and this group became bigger and bigger and bigger as we marched on from one state of India to another state, and like that. This is just the beginning.
And then you can see the group getting a little bit larger here.
Yeah. And we had more than 20, 30 countries devotees, and of course,
wow,
lots of Gujaratis and Bengalis and Indians were there.
Maharaj, there's one, and just coming back, because Kirtan is something very close to your heart. And there's one lovely picture that I want to show everybody where we can see you're in ecstasy chanting with Srila Prabhupada. Can you give us a little about this story here right now? What we can see on.
So when we we started Padayatra or Bullock Sankirtan from Vrindavan, and we were heading towards Mayapur. So on the way to Mayapur, we have arrived here at Prayag, Allahabad, at Kumbh Mela. This is month of January 77.
Wow.
And Srila Prabhupada also has come from Mumbai on train to Kumbh Mela. And this is within our camp. You could see the tent or so, some in the background. And this is in open. Prabhupada is sitting outside his tent. And there's a little audience sitting in front of Srila Prabhupada. And this became a little stage. And we're singing there. This is in Allahabad. So Padayatra party has arrived also. So I am with the Padayatra party. And so that is that.
And one thing that we are aware of is you had a lot of communication with Srila Prabhupada through letters, etc., about Padayatra and instructions through that means. Could you share? I would love to hear, if possible, how it felt to do this service. Number one, and number two, any specific instructions that Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the letters to you regarding Padayatra.
Yeah, well, besides the letters, the day we started Padayatra, I think it was around 10th of September, 76 in Vrindavan, in Prabhupada's quarter. And he addressed us, and we sat with Prabhupada for over 1 hour. And he gave a lot of instructions and inspiration, including what kind of cart we should have, or our cart should have tire wheels, tire wheels.
Yeah.
And how, when we go to the village, where we should park next to the well, because that's where all the villagers come to fetch the water.
Oh.
So you'll be right there. And we should have blankets, 2 blankets for each one of us, because it was a winter time. So lots of those instructions, Prabhupada caring father, and very practical. Yeah, so then so many letters exchanges. as we had arrived in Kanpur, from Vrindavan to Kanpur before Allahabad, we had returned to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, send us some men and we need some money for maintenance. So Prabhupada said, do not depend on outside help. And Prabhupada had enclosed Sankirtan newsletter. You know, Sankirtan newsletter, his book distribution stores were there. And he said, our institution is maintained by sales of our publications. So you have to distribute books in vernacular language and raise funds and maintain. So we took that seriously, and gradually now we were distributing more and more books wherever we went, and we became more than self-sufficient. And the additional funds were now then being donated to different projects, including recently our Padayatra India contributed ₹500,000 rupees for TOVP.
Wow, Jai.
So like that, and so our program was going on successfully within India. Then he wrote another letter, not to me, but when Nityananda Prabhu, new Talwan farm in America, and Prabhupada wrote that Lokanath Swami's Bullock Sankirtan party is doing well or very successfully. They are doing Padayatra. And he said, we could have millions of such cars all over the world. So I don't know, that's an instruction or Prabhupada's wish and prediction of our future of Padayatra. And there's a big thinking of Srila Prabhupada, millions of cars all over the world. So he wasn't thinking that Bullock Cart or Padayatra program is just a service that he had given to me and is limited to me or my lifetime. Prabhupada was thinking beyond me or beyond, for the next 10,000 years, this Padayatra should go on with millions of cars, or maybe when in future, near future, or there's no more petrol, then our bullock cars could be in business, and our bullock cars could pull the cars, passenger may be sitting in the cars, we could pull their car with our bullock cart. So like that, Prabhupada. One time when we invited Prabhupada, he was so very happy with what we were doing with this. So whenever we met, he would inquire about the welfare and how Padayatras are going on and like that. So when it was 1996 in a centennial time, every leader within ISKCON was thinking what kind of offering they could make for pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. So I was also thinking what I could do. Of course, I was made centennial minister, Prabhupada centennial minister. I was doing a lot of planning organization with help of all leaders together, GBCs, sannyasis. But as my personal offering, I was thinking what I could do. So we came up with this strategy and of organizing Padayatra in 100 countries for the 100th birth anniversary. So we expanded from one Padayatra in India to 100 Padayatras all over the world. And so it is doable, and it is happening, going on to this day.
So on this part of Padayatra, because this is very close to your heart, and like you said, this is meant to go on, for carrying on even after everybody passes. We want to carry this going on. There's something close to Srila Prabhupada's heart. So those that want to know more, please go to www.lokanathswami.com. And then there you will able to find how you can get involved with this Padayatra service and also find out much more and find out about Lokanath Maharaj. And one other area, Padayatra is one area, but another part for you is Kirtan. We all know, we love your Kirtans. You came to Birmingham 24-hour Kirtan a few years ago, and we were so grateful you came. And so how did the Kirtan aspect, Maharaj, if I may, come so prominent for you? What was it that, because your Kirtans are heard everywhere. We love them. But for yourself, what was that connection to Kirtan?
Yes, Kirtan got me when I was just a young boy in a village. Yeah, in a kind of culture or the family that practiced the culture that I came from was our family did Kirtan, our village did Kirtan, or in Maharashtra, Kirtans are very, very popular because of Sant Tukaram Maharaj, and the Pandharpur is known for Nada Brahma or for Kirtan. So when I was just a little boy, especially they used to do on Ekadasi. Today is Ekadasi.
Yes.
So Ekadasi, all night long they do sleepless night, and they stay up and do kirtans. So I was a little boy, also sitting with them and watching them, hearing them, and picking up notes so this was, I imbibed this kirtan spirit from when I was a little in the village. And then as I said, maybe that triggered my very first encounter with Hare Krishna movement was that kirtan on the stage, and that stirred up, and then it has become my life, or my second nature, or you may say, I know Srila Prabhupada kind of liked me singing.
No, that's so nice. And so you become, so much so that you become the minister for the Harinam Sankirtan ministry for ISKCON because of that. And we were talking a bit about that later as well, if that's okay. I just want to bring it with regards to Srila Prabhupada, because of course the Padayatra had started, but is there any intimate pastimes you can share with us of you and Srila Prabhupada that is still resonating in your heart right now?
That's a difficult one.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, there are several ones.
Please. We're happy to hear.
Which one to pick? And okay, so I was the time of my sannyas initiation. I think Prabhupada was so personal and so considerate and so fatherly figure for me as I approached Prabhupada for giving me sannyas. Those days there was no sannyas ministry, and there was no, you don't have to get approved by GBCs and waiting period. Those things came later on. Those days, our days, Prabhupada days, it was mostly the transaction would be made between Prabhupada and the candidate. So, so as I had approached Srila Prabhupada earlier, also when I was 2.5 years devotee, I had approached Srila Prabhupada, giving me sannyas. And Prabhupada said, wait. And then I waited for 1 year. And then one day I walked to Prabhupada's quarter. This is in Mumbai, Bombay. And Prabhupada was by himself, so I approached him, obeisances, and sat across in front of him, the table in between. And I again reminded Prabhupada that I had approached, and I want sannyas. And the reason I was demanding sannyas then, because Srila Swami, Srila Swami Maharaj, my godbrother from Canada. Yeah, we were buddies, we were brahmacharis, we were preaching partners, and we were together in Mumbai. So his sannyas was approved by Srila Prabhupada just a few days earlier. So then from me too, like in the family, when parents give some toys or something to one son, then another one, mommy, me too, daddy, me too, something like that. So I approached Srila Prabhupada, and then so there was a dialogue. Prabhupada was trying to preach to me or talk me out of it, but then I kind of persisted or was begging and bugging. So Prabhupada even said, "Oh, you are already a sannyasi." So I did not buy into that. I kept, no, Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada said, "Okay, go with Sridhar to Vrindavan. Together you travel to Vrindavan. You take sannyas at Vrindavan." So I thought that was very, very personal, and then Prabhupada was so personal under those circumstances. Well, in 77, Prabhupada is not well and all that. Everybody knows Prabhupada was in Rishikesh with Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And anyway, so I don't want to make it. I should just make a long story short, not start all the way in Rishikesh. Prabhupada comes to Vrindavan thinking he's going to leave the world, but he wanted to go to America. He stopped in London. He was there for Janmashtami and Vyas Puja in London, 77. Again, his health became worse. Back to India, he was in Mumbai for some time. I was there. So many intimate. Bombay is my office, Prabhupada said. Bombay is my office. And we were brahmacharis, Bombay brahmacharis, we were rightly stationed because as officers spends a lot of time in the office. So Srila Prabhupada also used to spend a lot of time in Bombay. He traveled to USA, back to Bombay. He would go to Australia, back to Bombay. He would go to Moscow, back to Bombay, like that. So we were rightly situated. So we had many. So I have a whole book called Bombay is My Office, where I have shared many intimate also moments with Srila Prabhupada. But yeah, then Prabhupada was not well, back to Bombay from London, and then on to Vrindavan, still not well. Then more things have happened. But yeah, one thing is that I was traveling with Bullock car. No, this time I was traveling with a little bus. The Padayatra was going on. Some other devotees were taking care. And so then we were traveling, but we returned because we did not know the Prabhupada's health status. So Prabhupada kindly allowed us to have his darshan in his quarter. Prabhupada was lying on the bed. Still, Prabhupada inquiring as we were distributing, which book is selling the most? Prabhupada was asking. So you could see, this is Prabhupada, you know. Prabhupada who said that he would never die. He would live in the form of his books. So, and so then, anyway, a lot of long, lengthy dialogue and a lot of things happened. But towards the end, our party men were walking out of the door, but Prabhupada, I was the last one to walk out. Prabhupada signaled me, come back. I went back and sat next to Prabhupada. We had to sit very close to Prabhupada, very close to his mouth, because Prabhupada kind of was whisper, not even talk. So then Prabhupada said, I would like to meet you. I would like to see you. And then he also said, what time suits you? He asked this question. And it was amazing. Prabhupada is asking what time suits me. And I said, no question of my suitability, whatever time. It's 4 o'clock, okay. And we settled for 4 o'clock. And then all day I was wondering, what is that Prabhupada? Prabhupada had spoken was very serious and grave when he had said to me, I want to talk to you. All day I was wondering and not able to come to any conclusion what he's wanting to talk to me about. So at 4 o'clock, I went back to Prabhupada's quarters, but then the secretaries directed me to Krishna Balaram Temple guest house reception. And there, lots of Prabhupada's servants and secretaries and PVC men were sitting. And as I arrived, they told me what Prabhupada wanted to talk to me at 4 o'clock. Prabhupada could not contain or something. He already told what he wanted to talk to me about. So they told me that Prabhupada wants to travel with the bullock cart. And so then we arranged, myself and Trivikram Maharaj and Pancha Dravida Maharaj. Three of us went to Mathura to arrange the bullock cart. And so bullock cart had come and parked in front of Krishna Balaram Temple, and we were delighted in a sense. Those days, when Prabhupada wants to travel, that meant Prabhupada is not leaving us. He's going to stay on longer with us. So this used to be our conclusion. So Prabhupada wants to travel. So he's going to be staying longer. Welcome. So we're happy to travel next day with the bullock cart. But of course, then during the night, some devotees, Tamakrishna Maharaj, Bhakticharan Maharaj, Bhavanand, they approached and expressed their concern, bumpy roads and this and that. So Prabhupada then dropped that program of traveling with the buses. I already said something which I should not have said right now. Yeah, he gave the idea of traveling with the bullock cart. Yeah, this is something. But next day, I will quickly say, if I may.
Please, Maharaj.
Yeah, that although Prabhupada gave up the idea of traveling with the bullock cart, and bear in mind that Prabhupada, he wanted to travel to all the holy tirthas all over India. As a trial run, he said, let us try within Brajamandal with the bullock cart. So this was on Prabhupada's mind. Traveling, he's so busy, with these call activities and preaching. So he had no time for himself or for pilgrimage, or so he wanted to for the holy tirthas. So next day, again we were in Prabhupada's quarter, Prabhupada lying on the bed, and we all around Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, I want to travel with the buses. He replaced the bullock cart with the buses. So he did not give up the idea of traveling, because he used to say, he wants to leave the world fighting with Maya. And preaching is fighting, right? Preaching is fighting. So while fighting, he wanted to leave. So now the plan was to travel with the buses, and everyone was on board now. And then all those who had assembled around him, they were taking turn appealing and asking for permission for them to travel with Prabhupada. Giriraj Prabhu said, I'm a good making life members, fundraising, so wherever we go, I could make members, so could I travel with you, Prabhupada? Yes, you travel. Then Bhakti Swarup Damodar, I remember, he said, wherever we go, there are some scientific-minded people. I could organize some scientific preaching or some interviews with you. Could I go? Yes, you could go. There was a Bhakti Chaitanya from Punjab, India. He was also sannyasi. He said, I'm a good driver, Srila Prabhupada. Could I come? Yes, you could come.
Amazing.
And then, me too. Me too. So I also, in a humorous way, although I knew I had to go, because this lot of discussion had taken place about the Padayatra, bus traveling, and towards the end, this could I come, this was at the end. I knew I had to go, but I humorously, could I go, Srila Prabhupada? And Prabhupada said, how to say this? He said, you'll be our leader.
Wow.
So then we were busy, we bought a big India map, and we were deciding which route to take and where to get buses, and myself and Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Bhavananda and some others, we were putting our heads together and making plans. So this traveling with the buses idea, traveling with the bullock cart idea, this was only 4 or 5 days before Prabhupada's departure.
Wow.
So on the 14th he departed, 14th November. And so neither bullock cart traveling nor bus traveling happens. Then when we had to celebrate this 500th anniversary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, the governing body commission of ISKCON, they were considering how could we celebrate? And then I think I was one of them to propose, Jagannatha Maharaj also to propose that let us have Padayatra, bullock cart Sankirtan party, and let us start from Dwarka and visit all the places of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes in South India. And this way, we will be celebrating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's 500th anniversary, as well as we will fulfill Prabhupada's desire, or if you want to call it last will of Srila Prabhupada. He wanted to go on pilgrimage. So we'll have Gaur Nitai in the chariot or in the cart, and Srila Prabhupada also on the chariot. And Srila Prabhupada, or as if Srila Prabhupada is taking Gauranga all over India, and Sankirtan party in the front. So this was proposed and this was resolved, and so this is what we did. Anyway, I think I made a longer answer. Hey,
Maharaj,
something happened?
Yes, this one of the pictures. We can see yourself.
Yeah. But this is, I think this is when we have arrived Orissa, Bengal. This may be in Bengal because we passed through 8 states of India. But and again, this program started on Radhastami. I was given instruction of doing bullock cart preaching on Radhastami 76, and in 84 Radhastami we started from Dwarka, and Jayapataka Maharaj was there, and so many leaders were there. So this photo with Bhakti Chara Maharaj, Bhakti Raga Maharaj, this is in Bengal. Those, yeah.
No, thank you so much for sharing. And one session with you, Maharaj, will not be enough. And we were saying, and everybody, if you want to know more about the pastimes of with the conversations that Maharaj had with Srila Prabhupada, there's a few books. There's the Pacific book, which you can see on the bottom left-hand corner, In Conversation with Srila Prabhupada. I'm just going to put it on the top so everyone can see it a bit clearer. So this book is one that you can get this in Amazon, if I'm correct. From Amazon, we can get.
Yeah.
Also, you got the book, and these are just a few. You got as you were saying, Bombay is my office. You can see that in the bottom corner as well. And then, of course, you have the Mayapur, Vrindavan festivals. So there's all these festival books, and there's one thing I'm also, if I'm correct, Maharaj, since 1970.
You see this backdrop. This is a front and back cover of a book called Padayatra Worldwide. This is a book.
Fantastic. And this book is it released? Is it going to be released?
Yeah. It's a trilogy. This is the first volume. 2 more to come.
Fantastic. And if anybody wants to now get hold of the Padayatra Worldwide book or any of the other books, Amazon, is that the best way to connect with those books?
I think so.
Yeah. What we can do is we can also send links to everybody. We'll try and get this on the different networks of where you can do. But please do check out Amazon. There's Amazon India, there's Amazon UK, there's Amazon.com. So please do check and then type in Padayatra Worldwide and you will find this book. No, thank you, Maharaj. And also, we will be talking, hopefully, I did get permission from Maharaj that we'll specifically focus on another session at some point on the In Conversation with Srila Prabhupada. So the book has so many memories on that, and it'll be a nice way to speak on that as well. So, Maharaj, thank you for sharing such intimate pastimes with Srila Prabhupada. And going forward, we know right now there is a lot of work that's happening with Padayatra. We said if anybody wants to get involved, please check out your website, lokanathswami.com. That is one thing.
We have parikramas also. We have parikramas.
Parikramas going on right now?
Not right now, but during Kartik Parikrama, Vrindavan, Mayapur Parikrama. Yeah, so not only they should read about the Padayatra books or this book, they should come out, walk, experience, have first-hand experience of it. Is wonderful.
So please, everybody, read and also action. So those are the 2 points. And also right now we've got some other festivals going on that people, because of COVID, maybe we can't get out there, but we are trying to do something with other festivals that are happening, which is the World Holy Name Festival, Maharaj, which you are, of course, leading us in. So Padayatra is one thing, but also with the Kirtan aspect and these festivals, you are also leading. Can I just bring up a poster that we've got right now, and I'll just show it on the screen, of the World Holy Name Festival. And just wondering, Maharaj, if you could please let us know, the significance of this festival and how people can get involved.
This is the 24th time we are doing this festival.
Wow.
We started in 1996 as a World Holy Name Day, during 96, it was World Holy Name Day. And this is to commemorate Srila Prabhupada's arrival in America. You remember on 17 September 65, Prabhupada arrived in America. And he arrived as ambassador of the Holy Name. And he gave the gift of the Holy Name to the world. So each year, around 17 September, as you could note, this year also, starting on 17th and goes on till 23 for one. So from one day, we started one day, Holy Name Day, then the few days, and then gradually it is now 7-day long festival. And it's a global festival with lots of kirtans. So there, this poster or the flyer that you are seeing, tiny letters now. I don't know whether you could, but every day for 7 days, for 4 to 5 o'clock, we will have different presentations on the Holy Name or ISKCON Sankirtan Ministries, different planning and strategies, how to spread the Holy Name, or how to get even ISKCON devotees involved and get them to propagate Holy Name. So that is 4 to 5. Then 5 to 6, we will have a Japa retreat. You know, Japa retreat. We would like that we reform, we do our chanting better, more attentively. So we have selected 7 best chanters, and they're all leading leaders, Prabhupada disciples. So each day they will make a presentation, Japa retreat interactive for 1 hour. Then 6 to 7, we have 7 Bhagavatam classes, 1 day each. And we have selected 7 verses from Bhagavatam which glorify the Holy Name. So there will be Bhagavatam class. Given again by, we have Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, we have Ramapad Maharaj, and Vaisheshika Prabhu, and you name it, all big names, big guns are going to be giving these Bhagavatam classes. And then 7 to 8 every day. This is IST, is the Indian Standard Time. You have to convert that into your time, your country's time, and you have to get tuned in. So 7 to 8, we have kirtans by B.B. Govind Maharaj, and like there are so many Maharajas and Prabhus, and even Matajis are going to be singing for 1 hour. And this is going to be globally broadcasted. And then each day we will conclude 8 to 9 session. And we have picked up 7 topics, which again glorify the Holy Name. And we have Jayapataka Maharaj and like that. Many other Maharajas going to be Anuttama Prabhu and Rukmini Mataji. And then there are special events. One day, all day, we'll be doing Japathon. Devotees from around the world, they will be following in the footsteps of Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, and chant and chant and chant and chant till okay. Wow. And then there's a one day, maybe 20th or something. We have
20th.
Global Connect, 24-hour kirtan, 24 zones. So that is scheduled. And this is the day to do public chanting, go on the streets, go into the parks. And there are many other events. And we also have, we are partnered with the Fortunate People team.
Yes.
Headed by Shaktavesh Avatar Prabhu. And so that is also part of the campaign. And we want you all to identify those Prabhus, or those, our fellow brothers, sisters, they had never ever chanted before, or they did not even know what Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Teach them and get them to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time and do the recording. Are you going to show something about
Yes,
that?
I'm gonna show that right now, Maharaj.
Okay, so like that, will be you'll get
I'll do that.
to hear more about this festival.
So I'll bring this up now, because since it's apt for this specific, this is one of the ways people can get involved with the World Holy Name Festival. So this from anywhere, please do get, and I'm going to put it on now. It's a short video, only 2 minutes long. So really request everyone to see it. Here we go.
Where's the sound? I don't hear.
Sound. I apologize, Maharaj. Yes, very good point. I'll just start it again, so we can all get it. Just bear with me. So we put this down. Technology. Oh yes, share audio. Here we go. So now we should hear it, Maharaj.
Gone online to promote the campaign, Fortunate People. I invite you to participate in this outreach campaign. The goal of this Fortunate People is to bring love and peace to the whole world. Real love is love of Godhead. And once you have love of Godhead, then you become peaceful. Mahaprabhu brought the holy name. It is simple. Open the WhatsApp link below. Say your name and location. Say this chant is dedicated for love and peace. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare one time. Stop the recording. Click send. All these instructions are given below. Your chanting will become part of the united offering to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Encourage the people around the world to become fortunate. Start with yourself and become familiar with how it works. Then look around for those who do not chant. Encourage others to do this and also become fortunate. Maybe some of your family members are not chanting. Maybe some colleagues in your office are not chanting. Make yourself fortunate and then make others fortunate also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Click the link and send your video today.
Wow. So this is the actual link. Thank you so much for that, Maharaj. That video is so enlivening. And anybody who, please, you can see right now, we've got a short version of the link, www.bit.ly/chant now. If you put that into your browser or on your mobile device, it will take you to the actual WhatsApp number that is connected, where you will be given instructions of what to do next. Really, really, we request all of you to check this out. I can see we've had over 200 people on live. So if all of you can also spread this message, that would be really appreciated. And become part of this World Holy Name Festivals, and let's break some records. So Maharaj, thank you so much. You've been an absolute inspiration to all of us. And I know that we'll be speaking to you more often with your blessings. Is there any final message before we unfortunately have to close? Is there any final message that you would like to give to the viewers right now?
Yeah, the World Holy Name Festival is just around the corner. We just mentioned that to you. So you all get ready, prepare, spread the word around, and be part of it, and make unfortunate world fortunate.
Fortunate.
By you chanting and getting others to chant also. So,
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you everybody for joining. And finally, please do click the link, www.bit.ly/chant now. And please make the world fortunate, as Maharaj said. So Hare Krishna, and thank you, Maharaj, for all your time. And we really appreciate you sharing these Prabhupada memoirs with us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.